Welcome to Reads and Threads. My name's Kate. Hello if you're new here. Welcome back if you're joining us again. Today is the beginning of a reorganization video. So this is probably going to go over multiple little segments as I get into what I want to do in regards to how I want my books arranged and all that kind of stuff. We're currently in my bedroom and behind me are all my library books that I have out at the moment. So on Monday of this week, I did buy this little shelf and put it together. There used to be on this is on a chest of drawers. I'll pop you down a little bit and you can see that a bit clearer. So this is just as you come in at the end of my bed. So on the top of the chest of drawers, there used to be a television, which I never used. And I just thought, do you know what? I want my books here. So these are just ones that I have that I want to read. And I just want to be able to see them easier so that when we're doing my game, they're easier to pull out, that kind of thing. And I know exactly what I've got and just have a spot where they all just go. And I don't have to worry about where I've put them or any kind of thing like that. So I don't mind this setup, but it doesn't, and you can't fully see, go all the way to the end of the chest of drawers. And in this situation, because I have a fair few, I would need some kind of bookends on the top bit. So what I've gone and done today, this morning, I've gone and bought a 2x3 kind of calyx system. It's not a calyx, it's just called shelf storage unit. I picked this one up from Kmart and the new one up from Big W. So this new one should have thin dividers, which is great because then there's more space for my books. Whereas say like an actual calyx unit from IKEA, it's fairly chunky and I don't want to lose that space. So this one's just going to go up too. So then I don't need to worry about having bookends. And I can store my books and hopefully it won't look too overbearing. So I'm going to put that together today and then I'll pop these books off and I might even use this little shelf just down the side here or even in the library. We'll see as I go through the library and redo that. You'll see the messes in there and it might help out in there as well. So just thought we'll give this a go. Let's get into it and hopefully by the end of this video, I will be really happy with how we've arranged everything. But the back's not on. And for some reason they only give you 3 little back pieces. So I'm kind of tempted not to use them at all if I can only have 3 of them. So I'm thinking for now I might just leave it open at the back and pop it on and yeah, see what we do. So I'm going to take all the books off of there and put this up and see how it looks. It is of course now covered in cat hair because my cat is generally lying on my bed and so his hair is all over my bed. Also, is the bed the best place to construct a set of shelves? Probably not. Did I do it anyway? You bet. I think actually I want it the other way. So I'm actually gonna that the kind of top is facing the door instead of the bottom. And that way, this one has a smooth line with no screws on it. And I can cover this side with the little stickers that they sent me. But I'm just going to go grab a cloth and some spray cleaner and give that a wipe over and then put the books back on. I was contemplating putting them in genre. I have a few romance here, but generally I read fantasy. There's a little bit of like supernatural thrown in, but I think I'm just going to shove them up in alphabetical order the way I had them before. On those shelves. I think we're definitely going to need that other little shelf in here as well. It's just whether I want it on this side or the other side. I'm really happy with that. I do have a couple more books that I have borrowed from the library that I will pop in as well. So I'm going to go grab them and fit them in. So I just realised before you couldn't see the little shelf down the bottom, so I'm going to pick you up and show you the shelves properly, and the books are now in the correct order as well. This is how the shelf on top of the chest of drawers is looking, and so we're just starting with A in the top over here, going along. I am so happy with how this has turned out. And these are all books that I've read the back, the synopsis, and I just find interesting. They're all in my game, so you never know, they will hopefully come up. And then down on the little shelf just here by my front door, by my bedroom door, sorry, we have these ones. And then at the moment, an empty bottom shelf. I may possibly rearrange that, but at the moment, I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. Okay, so we are on day 2 of rearranging, not necessarily day 2 in real life, but for the purpose of this video, day 2 of rearranging my library and getting my shelves set up the way that I really want them. First thing we need to do in this room, so this where I'm standing now is generally where my library chair sits, but I moved this DVD shelf in about, 2 weeks ago when my house was getting painted. And really like the shelf here, but I think I am going to take the DVDs off and move them back into the lounge room on different shelving so that they're closer to where I'm going to use them, and turn this one into a bookshelf for my books. Now, whether I keep this as a paperback shelf, I might at the moment, which means that the spacing of the shelves is probably okay where it is. I think I would have to double check, but I do also want to rearrange the spacing on the other 3 shelves that I definitely have in here, and look at just moving my books around, getting my special editions where I want them behind me at the top, and maybe some of my older paperbacks further down the bottom. I'm not entirely sure, but let's get started and see how much we can get done today. It is fairly late in the day on Saturday. I've worked most of the day today, so we'll see how we go. If I could at least get the DVDs off, that would be great. Out. One thing I'm going to have to figure out is where to put all my wombats. I have a very big collection of wombats. I used to pick them up wherever I went. This one's Fudge. I bought him in a fudge shop in Queensland. This one is Mint Slice. Don't remember where I got him from, but I know that that's his name. All of my wombats are named after food items. I have a very big, large, life-size wombat called Cadbury that I got from the Cadbury Chocolate Factory when I was younger in Tasmania. And I love all my wombats, but well, for now, we're going to have to figure out where they're going to go. I also wouldn't mind having the extenders. I think they would fit. But also I have found that my shelves are looking kind of yellow. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the light in here. This room has very bad light. I'm hoping it's just that. I don't really want to buy all new shelves. That's not going to happen. But yeah, so I'm thinking I might put paperbacks on here for now and we'll see how it looks. I think I'm going to arrange them alphabetically by the author's surname and then in series order within that. I might have to take everything that's currently on my TBR cart that I own off to make sure that it gets a spot. Otherwise, I'm not going to know how everything's fitting together. So I think that's what we'll do. And then maybe I'll start with special editions. I do kind of want to leave one box square section for The Night and the Moth and my other two Rachel Gillig books that I have ordered that are coming in special editions, and have them kind of be a bit of a feature. This cover I love so much and I really want to have that on display. I do want to probably get a better like holder for it so it's not just standing up. But yeah, so at least one of the squares is going to be for that. But I would like kind of all my special editions to be around the same spot. So let's start by moving the paperbacks, which I do probably have the majority of my books are paperbacks, and see how they'll fit. Because I know that there are some, like Bridget Kemmerer, this paperback size is just weird. I think it's slightly bigger than a B format. I know, it's just a B, a little bit smaller. So I don't have very many that were this size. So like they can only fit in, like, so yeah, that's a B format and these ones are slightly bigger. They can only fit in certain spots. So depending on where she ends up falling will be interesting to see what we can do with those. But let's get rearranging. Own very many trade size paperbacks. I really don't like them. I don't know why. I just never really like them. So this one I did only recently buy. I don't even think I've shown it to anyone in a haul yet or anything. They were having a sale at BW, so there was a heap of books off for half price. I did pick up this one, Prince of Fortune by Lisa Terreno, and in that same sale I also picked up The Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton, Nightweaver by R.M. Gray, what else? The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith, Lady of Ashes, which is number 3 in the Lady of Darkness series, which I do own Lady of Darkness, but I don't own number 2, so I will have to get that at some point. And that's by Melissa K. Rorich. What else did I get? I got something else. Yes, these ones down here. I got Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poronek and Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. So I'm pretty happy with all of those, and they were like $8 each, which in Australia, that's an awesome amount for a book. Anyway, my point in all of that was that with any of the trade, I probably will read them and then donate them to the library. I don't think I'll ever keep them. They probably will end up in a different section on the shelves just because they're not really ones that I am overly fussed whether I have for good or not. I also have a section that will go somewhere of books that I've picked up that technically are on my want to read list. So they're like some of Nora Roberts' old backlist books or just other trade paperbacks that have come into work and we don't want them at work, and so then we sell them. So I've just picked up a few of them that way. And again, these are probably ones that I won't keep, so they'll end up once I've read them in like my friend's new little library that's going out in the front of her house or that kind of thing, or I'll donate them to the salvos, something like that. So for now I'll have them until I've read them, and then once I have read them I will pass them on, and if I enjoyed the book I'll get editions that I really like. The only exception to that may be Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. If I really like this book when I read it, I will probably be keeping this one because it's pretty edges. So this might go with my special editions though, which are generally hardback, but I think it'll look pretty good. There are so many books as well dotted around this room. I'm struggling to find everything. You wait. We're going to get to the end and I'm going to find a whole stack of books that I'm going to need to move everything around for. Wandering Wild, maybe another one that I keep that is in that same vein as Forbidden Alchemy. This one I did go to like a launch event, met Lynette Noni, and she has personally signed it. So this one will be staying as well. Plus it has pretty edges. I don't also know what to do with my Selena A Fenich. Now these ones are paperback, but they do have pretty like sprayed edges, but they are all the same design. I think even maybe they're starting to wear off a bit. So I think I will put them spine out instead of face out. This one though, that I recently got, Whispers of Dragon's Dawn, that would look cool spine out. Again, I kind of hope they start doing more sprayed edge paperbacks. That would be cool because I do prefer when I'm reading to read a paperback, but yes. I really want to get different covers of Isabella Carmody's Over Newton series as well. I really don't like the orange spines, or in that case, yellow spine. If now that I have my new broken binding editions of the first 3 in the Riftworld saga, that maybe I unhold them in my paperbacks. These are really old editions that I think I've probably had since the dawn of time. I don't know when. It's when I used to, when I was a kid, put little stickers, sunshine stickers, in the front of the books that I owned. But I also did meet Raymond E. Feist. And now that I've seen that, I realised I may have taken the first one and the second. And the third, and got them all signed. So maybe I won't be unhauling though. Or you could get a cool signed edition if I did. How many did I take with me? I think it would have only been the first trilogy. Yeah, it was only the first trilogy. I don't know that my new editions are signed. I don't think these new broken binding editions, I don't think that they came signed. No, so my version, I'm only a tier 2 subscriber. So these ones haven't been signed. That would probably be something I would look into doing. Hopefully one day I can meet Raymond E. Feist again and then get these editions signed. That would be awesome. I can't wait to see them on the shelves together. At the moment, they're all very split up. That's going to be awesome. Oh, okay. And now that I've noticed this makes a really cool picture on the spines of her books, Selena E. Fenix. I'll show you that in greater detail at the end. If I'm going to put Cinder Williams Chimer under C. I don't know for sure, but we're going to go with that and hope for the best. So I'm going to move these a little bit more because I do have 2 of that series. I've never also been a huge fan of, say, like having my books all the way at the back. I don't know, maybe it is because I do tend to have a lot more paperbacks and it seems so far back, whereas a hardback would sit out more. I don't know though, like, because I am extremely finicky putting things in and out when they're not like all the way at the back, and then trying to get my like line perfectly perfect, which it's not going to be. My books move like, and I don't have anything behind it to back it up. I could put some moisture catchers, but I don't know that it's hugely needed here, but it's something I could maybe look into. leave it there for tonight. I'm going to take you off the stand I've got you on at the moment. Sorry. I'm going to take you off the stand I've got you on at the moment, and I'll show you how this shelf is looking a bit closer up. I'm not entirely happy with the bottom, like the fact that those taller paperbacks don't fit properly. So I'm pretty much losing half, like a whole shelf down there. I don't know what I'll do there, but for now it is what it is, and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so at the very top we have this. And go down to our next shelf. And then our David Eddings shelf, pretty much. Beginning of Feist. The end of Feist. Oh, it's getting very dark. We have some Sam Gaither books here that I picked up at Babe, which I'm eager to give a go. And I am absolutely loving the way that this Selena Fenech series lines up. I think that looks gorgeous. And then I like that all of my John Gwynne has ended up on the same shelf. I think that's great. I was sneaking to myself earlier because Jenny Han was coming out right next to John Gwynne, which I just thought was hilarious. And then my Hob and some of my newer series. And then this is the bit that I'm not happy with. I don't mind Sarah J. Maas being on the bottom. That doesn't bother me. It's just losing that whole shelf because those two series are too tall. And it might be that I moved them somewhere different. I have more shelving in my bedroom that I might be able to put them on in there instead. But usually they're mostly my favorites, but we'll see how we go. There's definitely too many paperbacks for the shelving at the moment. So I think I will definitely resize the top of these shelves. It looks like so much room between this one, so I think this spacing all needs to change a bit. I think then the tops will be the spacing for the hardbacks, so I'll take another shelf out, and then the bottoms can still be paperbacks. My Harry Potter stuff is moving into my other spare room, and my special editions can all go along the top, I think. So we might do a little bit more tomorrow, but for now I think we will call it there. Welcome back to day 3 of our shelf rearrangement. I'm fairly happy with how the paperback shelves are turning out. The bottom is still annoying me. We will definitely need to do something with that, but I figured we may as well put everything else up, get at the shelving spacing the way we want it, and then tweak the rearrangement. I am still thinking I will do special editions at the top and more paperbacks down the bottom. I just don't have that many special editions. I am getting more, but so they will increase, but my preferred style of reading is paperback. So I do want to still have enough room for the paperbacks, but also be able to display my special editions, which is why I was buying them. Let's see how we go from there. With the spacing of these two shelves, I am going to just respace this one, so take the books off of this one, then fill out the rest of my paperbacks, and then we'll reorganize my special editions. This book is one of her Nora Roberts original stories that I picked up really cheap in a sale at Dimmicks, I think. This is not something that I am really planning on keeping, but I will add it into my shelves for now. I don't think I'm going to like this book when I do come around to reading it, but I'll put it in the order of where it actually fits in her publication series, but I don't see that one living in my library for very long. A dust allergy, this isn't really ideal. Okay, so technically my Helen Shearer are paperbacks. I loved this series. So they're also only going to fit on a bottom shelf or like a middle shelf. So I think I might keep these ones and my Legends of Thesma ones, as well as maybe my hardback Legends of Thesma, and kind of make a Helen Shearer shelf. I actually have heaps of room, to the point where I can definitely rearrange, I think. But let's see how much room these special editions take up. I definitely have enough room for everything, but I have no idea how I want to arrange it. So do I want to just put like my ones with sprayed edges together and then everything else not? But then my 6 Scorched Roses doesn't have the decorated edge, which is fine. I'm not that fussed about it, but yeah. Should I pull out just the ones with sprayed edges and leave all my regular hardbacks together? Probably, I think. The more I talk it out loud with everyone. I also kind of like the idea of keeping like my Fairyloot YA all together, my Illumicrate, those kind of subscription boxes stuff together. And if I was to pull out all of the ones with decorated sprayed edges, because like my last Dragon King does, but it's just blue. So I don't really know that I necessarily want that fine out. Like it's pretty, but... And I also kind of like the idea of my Helen Shearer being with my Helen Shearer. I am planning on getting the Thorns and Fire, I think it's called. The second of the Ashes of Thesma in the sprayed edges as well, if I can get my hands on it. Because I was silly and didn't pre-order it. The same with my Denny Francis and my Spell Shop. They're just sprayed colour-wise. So I could do a shelf with just sprayed colour, but I do quite like the spines on these as well. Again, this is not a book I am planning on necessarily keeping. I only picked it up for $5. I am really interested to get to it, which I did run through in my haul video the other day, but it's very much not in keeping with the rest of the other books on my shelves. And whether it stays there, who knows. And Silver Cloak is so pretty. I kind of want that on display somewhere. Fairyloot I have bought extra and others have come in my subscription boxes. This one I think I am going to be unhauling and selling, probably via Facebook. There's like a fantasy buy and sell page for special editions and that kind of stuff. It was fine, but I don't like this version, so I think that one will be leaving my library. Before my camera completely runs out of battery, I do have this. I ordered a special edition off of the same page that I was just talking about unhauling Bury Our Bones on, and I thought we could open it together. So I'm super excited. I've been eyeing this one off with the idea of picking up the second one as well. So really happy to have gotten this. and that is Bonesmith by Nikki Palparetto. I just love those spines. And then she's popped in there the letter with the author that they got when it came out. And I'll just have a look at the other side of the jacket cover, which I don't know that I've ever seen. I really quite like that. That is cool. I think this is the original cover, and then this is the different artist rendering version, which is nice. The hardback is looking very pretty. Quite like that. And the end papers are very cool. Really looking forward to reading this one. I haven't read it yet, but I just love those edges. They are so cool. And she looks really kick-ass, so I am interested to get to this one soon. This, of course, will be living on my Fairyloot shelf, and I think that is one thing that I will do is have specifically a Fairyloot shelf. Mainly, they've been my favourite subscription so far, so I think if I was to get rid of any, it would probably be a Lumicrate. A Lumicrate I can buy when I see what they're like. They actually let you buy the boxes in their shop afterwards, so that's really handy. Bookish and Spice is Australian, so I do want to support them. I haven't tried any of their picks yet, but that hopefully I will continue with those ones. Broken Binding, I'm really loving the covers for those, so I would like to keep those. Forbidden Wing, I do like them. I'm not loving, like I love B format hardbacks, but they do look a bit funny next to all my others. So I'm hoping these are going to be really good. Who am I kidding? I love them all. And for as long as I can, I will keep getting them and see. And if I need to skip a couple of months, that's fine. Most of them do have skip options. So it's working out well so far, but we'll see how my finances go to whether I can continue as many as I do have now. Okay, so my battery's about to die, so I might leave it there. I'm actually going to head to IKEA and pick up some new shelving for the lounge room for my DVDs. And I'll charge my phone and we'll come back to this a bit later on. To leave it here for now. I'll take you around and show you a little bit closer all the shelves that I've put up. I've got heaps of room to add more books, which is always great. I definitely don't need an excuse to buy more, but it's definitely pretty good. Things are going to change around. I know I'm not going to keep them like this forever, and as I get more of my subscription boxes and that kind of thing, I'll definitely be manipulating it a fair bit. But for now, pretty happy with that, and I'll show you, and then that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. I am currently in the middle of putting up my DVD shelving in the lounge, which kind of distracted me for the rest of the afternoon, but I am glad that that will be out there and I can have more room in here for my books. If you would like to, please feel free to subscribe. I release a video once a week, so I wouldn't want you to miss anything that I have coming up. If you'd like to join me over on Goodreads, Storygraph or Instagram, the links are down below as well. And I just hope that wherever you are having a really wonderful day. And we'll see you next time.